Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Before we dive into today's story, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, because you don't want to miss what's coming next. Alright, let's get into it.
When Jason told me to pick between him and my dreams, I froze. I thought love was supposed to be about support, not ultimatums. But I chose him. And for years, I carried the weight of that choice like a chain around my neck. I gave up on my dreams for love. But love didn't last. And when he walked away, all I had left were the broken pieces of myself. That's when I realized maybe I hadn't chosen wrong after all. I met Jason when I was 23. At the time, life felt like it was just beginning. I was fresh out of school, working part-time at a local cafe, but my heart was set on something else. My dream was to start a small bakery of my own one day. Nothing fancy, just a warm place where people could sit, laugh, and enjoy something I made with love. Baking had been my passion since I was a teenager. My mom used to say I poured my emotions into flour and sugar. When I was happy, my cakes rose perfectly. When I was sad, the frosting came out uneven. I wanted to build a life around that passion. Jason walked into the cafe one rainy afternoon. He ordered a cappuccino, flashed me a smile that nearly made me spill milk all over the counter, and asked for my number with a boldness that caught me off guard. From the beginning, he was attentive. He texted good morning and good night without fail. He showed up at my apartment with groceries when I was too tired to cook. He made me laugh with his sarcastic jokes and the way he pretended to hate my baking, only to finish 3 slices of cake in one sitting. At first, he seemed proud of me. He told his friends, "She's going to be the next big thing, just wait." He even helped me brainstorm names for my dream bakery. We stayed up until 2 a.m., tossing around ideas and doodling logos on napkins. For a while, love felt like enough. But dreams, unlike relationships, take time, money, and sacrifice. I saved every extra dollar I could, sometimes skipping outings with Jason because I wanted to set aside money for baking equipment or classes. I started waking up earlier, testing recipes before heading to my cafe shift. I volunteered to bake for local events for free, hoping word would spread. That's when the first cracks appeared. Jason started making comments that stung, though he said them with a laugh. "Are you ever going to have time for me again? You're obsessed with this baking thing. Do you really think you'll make it? Plenty of people bake. What makes you different?" I brushed it off at first, telling myself he was just tired or stressed from work. He had a demanding job in IT, and I knew it wore him down. But the comments grew sharper. One evening, I canceled a dinner date because a local business owner had asked me to provide cupcakes for an event. It was a huge chance for exposure. Jason's face turned dark when I told him. "So that's it? Every time I want to see you, some opportunity shows up?" he snapped. "Jason, this is important." "Important?" He laughed bitterly. "You think making muffins is more important than me?" That night, he barely spoke to me. He slept with his back turned, leaving me staring at the ceiling with tears burning my eyes. It happened on a Sunday evening, the kind of quiet night that usually made me feel safe. I was kneading dough in my small kitchen, humming to myself, when Jason walked in. His face was hard, his jaw set like stone. "We need to talk," he said. My hand stilled. "About what?" "About us. About this obsession you have." I wiped flour off my hands and faced him. "Jason, it's not an obsession. It's my dream. I want to build something. I want a future that's more than just paycheck to paycheck." He shook his head. "And where do I fit in that future? Because right now, I feel like second place. Actually, no, I feel like last place." "That's not true." "Then prove it," he interrupted, his eyes burning into mine. "Pick me or your dreams." My breath caught. My chest tightened. For a moment, I couldn't process what he'd said. Surely he didn't mean it. Surely this was just frustration talking. But the silence stretched, heavy and suffocating. He meant it. Tears welled in my eyes. I wanted to scream, to beg him not to make me choose. But the words came out broken, fragile. I pick you." Jason's shoulders relaxed instantly. He pulled me into his arms, whispering, "You won't regret this. But deep inside, a part of me knew I already did. At first, I tried to convince myself I had made the right choice. I threw myself into our relationship, planning trips, cooking dinners, being the girlfriend he wanted me to be. But my dream didn't disappear. It lingered like a shadow, haunting me. When I walked past bakeries, my chest ached. When friends asked if I was still baking, I forced a smile and said, "Not really, just for fun." Jason seemed happier, though. He liked that I was around more. He liked that weekends were about him, not cakes or events. He liked having me at his side, ready whenever he called. But over time, something changed. His appreciation turned into expectation. What I once gave freely, he began to demand. He criticized little things. How I cooked, how I dressed, how I laughed too loudly at other people's jokes. He complained when I spent time with friends. Slowly, without realizing, my world shrank until it revolved only around him. I had traded my dream for love, and found myself with neither. 3 years later, Jason left. Not with a fight, not with tears, just silence. He came home one evening, sat me down, and said, "I don't think this is working anymore." I stared at him, numb. "After everything I gave up for you?" He looked away. "I didn't ask you to give anything up." But he had. God, he had. And the worst part? I had let him. When the door closed behind him, I sat in that empty apartment with nothing. No Jason, no bakery, no dream. Just me and silence. The months after the breakup were the hardest of my life. I cried until my eyes were raw. I felt foolish, angry, and ashamed. But slowly, the fire I had buried began to flicker again. One day, I pulled out my old recipe book. My hands trembled as I flipped through the stained, crumpled pages. I baked a cake, my first in years. The smell filled my apartment, and with it came a rush of something I hadn't felt in a long time. Hope. I started baking again, just for myself at first, then for neighbors, then for small events. Word spread. People remembered me, remembered the girl who used to dream. Orders came in, small but steady. It wasn't easy. I worked long hours, took side jobs, scraped together money for supplies. But every step forward reminded me that I wasn't done. 2 years later, I opened a tiny bakery. The dream I had once buried for Jason. On opening day, the line stretched down the street. Friends, neighbors, strangers. They all came. Some hugged me, some cried, some said, "We knew you could do it." I cried too. Not because of what I had lost, but because of what I had finally found again. Months after the bakery opened, Jason walked in. I almost didn't recognize him. He looked older, tired, with lines on his face that hadn't been there before. "Wow," he said softly, looking around. "You really did it." I nodded, keeping my voice steady. "Yeah, I did." He hesitated, then sighed. "I thought you made the wrong choice when you picked me over this. But maybe I was the wrong choice all along." For the first time in years, I felt no bitterness, just clarity. "You were a chapter," I said gently. "But this—" I gestured to the bakery, the people, the life I'd built. "This is my story." Jason smiled faintly, nodded, and walked out of my life for good. Looking back, I used to believe I chose wrong the day Jason gave me that ultimatum. But now I see the truth. The real mistake wasn't choosing him over my dreams. The real mistake was believing I had to choose it all. Because dreams wait for you. They survive heartbreak, failure, even regret. And when you finally choose yourself, they rise with you. I once thought I picked wrong. But maybe, just maybe, I picked exactly what I needed to become who I am today.
Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. Leave your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think. And don't forget to subscribe for more stories like this. Hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. See you in the next video.